Welcome everyone. Today's class we're going to talk about wrists. Number one complaint students have, wrist pain. Whether you've been practicing for a number of years or you're brand new to yoga, at some point you're going to say, you know what, my wrists are sore. So we're going to do some exercises to strengthen and stretch out the wrists, and we're also going to look at the anatomy of the body and things to think of as we move through any poses with the hands touching the floor. All right, first let's take a look at our hands. So we want our fingers spread. You often hear your teachers say, spread your fingers, spread your fingers. Yes, spread those fingers, but not the thumb. You want a slight tuck of that thumb in so you're not creating so much strain if you had the thumb all the way out to the side. Look at that space, that's a lot of space between. So slight tuck of the thumbs, and we're spreading the rest of the fingers. Also want you to think of carrying angle. You might be saying, what's a carrying angle? So pause this, you're gonna look in the mirror. Arms are gonna extend out to the sides, palms face forward. Don't do anything crazy, just let those arms come out to the side, palms forward. Some people might notice that their arms are very close to their body, they go hang straight down. And then some people might notice, like I have, an angle of my forearm out from my elbow. See that? Now there's nothing wrong with you if you have a carrying angle, and there's nothing wrong with you if you don't have a carrying angle. It's just the way your body is. Everyone has a different body. It's what we do to honor the shape that we have in our bodies. So for those of us that have this angle outward, one, you can carry all your groceries without hitting your hips. But two, I want to give you a tip to place your hands. If I were to put my wrist creases so they're facing the front of the mat, like you'll often hear teachers cue, that's going to create a strain on my wrist over time, especially if I do it repetitively, right? So for me, I want to honor the line of my body. See, I have that slight angle outward. So I'm going to have a slight rotation of my wrists out to the side. Not talking anything extreme like the fingers pointing to the sides of your mat. It's just a very gentle angle outward, following that line. So you're not creating stress and strain through the arm by rotating in. So give it a whirl. Next time you're in tabletop, downward facing dog, chaturanga, handstand, any pose where your hands are touching the floor. If you have that angle in your arms, give the rotation of the hands just ever so gently outward. So you're working with the anatomy of your body, that carrying angle. Another thing that we want to think about is the core involved anytime the hands are on the floor. We want to make sure that our bellies are strong. We're really firing up the core to help support the body. There's a sense of pushing into the floor, but also a lightness coming out. You often hear root to rise. That comes into play with your feet and with your hands. So what can you do to feel a sense of lightness pulling up as much as you're pressing down? Use your core here, use your legs, especially in chaturanga. We often see people that are dropping down and their hips are the first thing that hits the floor. You want to make sure that you have that one straight line, strong belly, strong legs. You're going one straight line all the way down, right? Rather than that sagging, that's going to create extra pressure on your wrists and also can lead to some shoulder injuries. So let's go ahead and we'll warm up the wrists. We'll do some strength exercises and some stretching exercises. Everything is connected in our body. So before we get to our wrists, let's go ahead and get into the shoulders. So come to a comfortable seated position, whenever that is for you. Bring your hands to your shoulders, and we'll warm up by taking some circles. These are exercises that you can do anytime throughout the day. You can do before class starts, if you're sitting at your desk. Make sure that we're going in both directions. Again, we're just starting to warm up. So making sure that our shoulders are warm, that our shoulders are strong. And that's going to help us with the wrists as well. All right, we'll just switch directions one more time. All right, release. Go ahead and shake out your arms, shake out your wrists. All right, so this one I love. You'll feel it right away. I'll give you two variations. The first one is going to be with the arms extended up. If you find that you are just building that strength in your shoulders, feel free to take cactus arms where those elbows are bent out to the side. Either way, you're going to spread your fingers nice and wide, and then we're going to open up the hands so the palms go towards the ceiling. Then we're going to make fists. We're going to draw the knuckles in towards one another, like you're like, yeah, a strong man, or those arms are straight. So we'll just move like that. Go ahead and spread the fingers. Each time you're trying to get those fingertips further away, then make fists, draw the knuckles in. You should feel this right here. Yeah, that's great. So we'll do this. I like to do it several times throughout the day. One, I love the feeling of it, but two, I had a wrist injury, and though I don't have a pain in my wrist, I do still have limited mobility in one side, the left side. Just a few more. You'll also probably start to notice this in your shoulders. Again, if it becomes too much, keep those elbows bent. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, last set. Great job, release. Shake out your wrists, shake out your shoulders, make some circles. All right, from here, extend the right arm. You're going to take your fingers of the left hand and start with the pinky. We'll work our way through each, and then we'll come to the full hand. So we're working on extending that right hand, the right pinky, and then drawing it down. You should feel this stretch. And you can stay as long as you like, just make sure it's even through all sides. For time, we won't go as long as I would recommend, just because I'm trying to keep this as a shorter video, just a quick tutorial. All right, let's switch, moving on. While you're doing this, just make sure you're not rounding in your lower back, you're not slouching. Feel your belly engage. These habits of engaging and staying tall through the spine, navel pulling in, will help you move on to your middle finger. This will help you keep that awareness throughout your yoga practice. We'll go to that index. And then to the thumb. The thumb, just be careful you're not putting too much strain. You can draw it out and then in just a little bit towards your face. All right, now let's go for the whole hand. Taking your left hand over your fingers and drawing those fingers down. You're looking for sensation, you're not looking for sharp, sudden pain. If that's the case, back off. Great job, release. Shake it out. So let's go ahead and change the cross of our legs. Bringing that balance into our body. So find your tall seat and then extend your left arm forward. starting with the pinky finger. So the left side is my tighter side, where I find that my wrist doesn't like to be more of that origami shape. Moving on, where the heel of my palm lifts up a little bit. So if that's the case, if you have trouble, you can also roll the top of your mat up, and we'll go through that too. Notice if you're slouching, keep that tall spine. Moving on. If you work at a computer all day typing, this is a great thing to do whenever you have a break, you're waiting for coffee to brew. Okay, let's go to that thumb. You can do it several times a day. All right, now let's go for the full hand. So take your right hand around the left fingers, and you're working them down. Release. Go ahead and shake it out. All right, let's come to a tabletop position. Great opportunity to work that slight angle out. Shoulders are stacked over the wrists. We're just going to make some little circular movements here. So we're not going too far forward, too far back. We're trying to keep things stacked. We're just creating a little movement through the wrists. And then go ahead and change directions. Another thing, for years I used to practice jump backs from jumping into chaturanga, but what happened is I developed this placement of my hands where my right hand was slightly back from my left, so I don't like to do jump backs anymore. I like to step back thoughtfully, planting my hands onto the mat and making sure they're in line with one another, because that was creating some strain in my right shoulder. Okay, come on back. You're going to take the palms face up, fingers in towards your body. And then we're going to lean back. To intensify, you're going to sit back towards your heels. If this is too much, you go ahead and rock forward to lessen the intensity. This is a great thing to do several times throughout the day. You can also do it before class starts. All right, release. Go ahead, shake it out. Shake out those wrists. So the next one we're going to do, not that I would condone the use of lighters for anything other than lighting candles. We're going to imagine you are flicking a lighter. This is just creating some mobility through the thumbs. This is one of the first places that arthritis settles in. So just flicking here, you can see shoulders down. We don't want to be up here. Keep your neck nice and long, core is engaged, and you're starting to tune into that awareness through the whole body. Even though we're working on our wrist, nothing else is sagging out or slacking off. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. So the next one, I've noticed that this is how I've started to wave, so I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. But we're gonna do single hand clapping. So kind of back into that motion of opening up the hands. So we're gonna spread those fingers and then we're gonna try and tap the fingers into the palms of the hand. You can go fast, you can go slow. So if you pass me in traffic, chances are I wave like this. Kind of look a little crazy, but that's okay. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Shake it out. Shake out those shoulders. All right, let's make fists with our hands. Interlace the fingers, make a fist, and then we'll come in and out. Make that fist, interlacing the fingers, no crossing, and then just circles. Going in both directions. All right, release. I hope this helps. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me. But anytime those hands are on the floor, think about the rest of the body. Strong shoulders, strong core, strong legs. You got this. Have a great day. Namaste.